won't be able to see what's going on if anyone has joined, if there anyone in the chat, if there are any messages that's happening. But yes, so I just actually went live. So now I'm actually live. I'm trying to get some things out of the way where I can see myself. Um, that's a delay right there. So yes, so that's a delay. I'm not going to be able to. Okay, so I can hear myself, and I don't want to hear myself on the delay. So I have to silent that particular sound, and then I can actually go in and do the things I need to do. And so, speaking into this camera right here, I have another set of cameras that I'm actually working on, and so the delay is natural. And what do I want to talk about that everyone has been talking about just to test the broadcast? And so at this time and in this um, environment, it really takes a lot. And while I record so many videos, that's actually on here on my Rudeboy sound stream, or not stream but recorded videos. I do a lot of 3 minute videos that are up there, and I just try to get to some points in pretty much in doing what I'm doing, and whatever topic, and I think this is really a fun time with Spurs. This is absolutely a fun time, just with everything that's going on. We are on a skid right now. We have a manager that we don't know if we want our manager. Uh, what else do we have? We said no more youth as we go, and we're still signing youth. So, what is it that we're actually doing here as far as the club is concerned? And so, my question, to start, I don't know if I'll be able to answer it. I'm, since I'm just testing this and doing all of that. Any question that I would like to ask, and try to give an answer. But right now, as it is, for me, I'm not a frank out guy. There are things that I want to see, right? If you want to say the difference between Ange and Frank, we can discuss that, or I can discuss that because I don't have any we right now. The the thing with me is that I never knew Ange before he came to Spurs. And my good friend is a big time Celtic fan, but obviously he's in Jamaica. Maybe not obvious to you, but to me, he's still in Jamaica. And I'm in the United States. And we don't talk football for years. When I was going to school, we were actually roommates. And he was one of the uh, our first person I saw actually wearing a Celtic um, jersey. Someone else I didn't went to go to school with him, but we played football together. He went to the same. Um, he went to a different high school, but we live on the same street. His dad was actually the one who made the uniforms, like for the Jamaica national team, and a lot of the schools um, gear. He produced them with the company that he worked for. So, and I used to get jerseys from. Went to Camperdown, and I used to get my colors made. Everyone wants to wear their school color, but as far as football itself, we talk football. We play football together, and we left high school, grown up, and we, you know, in different places. A matter of fact, when I go to Jamaica, which I do often, he's right there still, there doing his thing. But the football, I didn't. I played football I didn't play for my high school. Funny enough, because I was a cricketer. I played cricket, and then when I graduated, I played some community football, and then I went into coaching. And that was it. That was it for me. And when I migrated to the United States, I got my pass, and I coached some youth soccer. And my daughter, who was doing taekwondo at the time, switched over and said she wanted to play soccer, and I, decided I'm going to go into, you know, um, coaching as well. And so I did that for about 6, 7 years. Um, Here I did it in Jamaica for maybe 4 years. So that was it. But then life take its toll on your living, and you move away from it. I've been a Tottenham fan, by the way, since I'm just yapping away here. I've been a Tottenham fan for almost 50 years. Um, as far back as I think uh, little after the 78 World Cup. I think that was when I really dug in. And what I was saying before about Celtic was that most of my friends rooted for either Celtic, well, one rooted for Celtic, the rest were Brazil, and as a club, um, most were United. And so I have no idea. Oh, I know how I became a Tottenham fan and then get cemented as a Tottenham fan. And this is a true story. I remember it's a FA Cup game, Tottenham versus United, and there was something about the Tottenham team that I like. Guard Crooks was the man, and I just like I just like his demeanor, tireless, and all of that. So Guard Crooks was actually the one that made me become a Spurs fan, and more so when I became a Spurs fan, it was because we're actually playing United. Funny how that works, right? And then after Argentina won the World Cup, right? All my friends were rooting for Brazil. Again, they were rooting for Brazil, and I was like, I'm going to root for Argentina. And it was all about Mario Kempes. I can That World Cup was Argentina won that World Cup with and then I realized, because I wasn't up on the football because I was a cricketer, so I wasn't too much up on the football and everything that was going on in world football, but I get dragged in because I play everybody kick it around, and then realizing Ozzy Ardiles was going to Tottenham, and that is where pretty much my affinity for Tottenham takes off, and it gets better, right? My dad, right, has a set of kids from a relationship before he met my mom, and those three kids migrated. Four. One brother and two sisters actually migrated to England. I think I lost my connection, or it came back. Um, they actually migrated, and I eventually hooked up with them and realized that they live in in London. That's when I was a teenager, still going to high school, and I discovered later on as well that they were all Tottenham fans, except for my nephew, who obviously is after the fact. One of my nephew is actually a Liverpool fan. One was actually in Tottenham Academy, and so it was fun to know that. Anyway, the broadcast has stopped because I think the signal is weak, so I have to. Oh, so it's coming back. Um, yeah, so this is just a test, and as I tell you a little bit about me. So right now, my I have two sisters that still live in London. My nephew, um, I won't give away his position, but he's pretty much a big thing, big time official in the borough of Orange, if that's how it's pronounced. Anyway, um, let's just say Windsor Castle and make it easier for what I'm saying. But I will not give away his name. I will not put that out there on the broadcast without his permission. So I will not do that. But overall, I've been a Tottenham fan, and Ardiles and Ricky Villa cemented that. And so I get so since then I've always been a Tottenham fan. And going through the highs and the lows, I think for some time in the 2000s, I had moved away. Again, life happens, and we weren't getting much football here in the United States at the time. Not to my knowledge. I didn't seek it out maybe enough. And then I started again picking up the football after I visited a friend, a referee friend of mine. He refereed in England. I think he said that either was he played second division, then became a referee, and then he was a referee out here in college. Nice guy, professor at one of the universities here in the US. And very smart man from Ghana. And yeah, I begin to grow and grow again with following the club and picking back up on the history of the club. And so on and off over those 50 years to today, this is the longest I've actually been involved, connected, and feel a part of the Spurs community. And with the advent or the coming of YouTube, it's even more because you get a chance to interact now with fans, which you didn't have like years ago. There's a YouTuber by the name of the boy HotSpur, and he was the first YouTuber that I actually interacted with live. And we have our battles because I'm very cynical if for those who come across and sometimes we get too serious in what we're saying. By disposition though, I'm a very serious person. But it doesn't mean that I'm not a teddy bear underneath all of this bravado. And if you, when I get this stream up and running, it is going to be about football. I like the idea of talking about football. All the other stuff that are happening, we can talk around it. But the important thing that I like is talking football. And so once that comes around, my mind just go crazy because the thing with it is you can be interested in all the other things that are happening in and around the football, and at the end of the day, the objective has to be football. And in a time like this, when we're going through so much, we're going through a whole lot as a club, and we went from the Daniel Levy's era straight into this chaos. One could say the Daniel Levy's era was all chaos, chaotic, but there was improvement in things that the modern game needs, which are good stadiums, good facility, but you still need to have a good team. It still has to be about the football. We lost that. We lost that. We lost the connection to the football. And I'm not going to lay all of that at the feet of Daniel Levy. I would say that he was a part of years and years after years that we feel neglected as a fan base. We feel neglected that no one is talking to us. Unfortunately, everyone is talking to us today, and we don't like it. We don't like what's coming from them. We don't like what the fan, the board, whatever they call themselves, Tottenham Hotspur Trust. We don't like the players coming out and talking. We don't like the players apologizing for bad performances. We get ornery on just about everything, and is it a society thing? I don't want to go off on a tangent here, but is it just the way we are in society that our tolerance level is so short? Is that what it is? Because I'm trying to figure it out. It's you can see the picture of someone popping up on the screen, and if that player uh, is not doing well, people will write the nastiest thing about that player, and you can get into long, unending conversation about just how horrible and how terrible the person is. And we feel, I don't know how it makes us feel when we just attack, just put out an all-out attack on an image, if it makes us feel better about ourselves. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But I am not on, well, not that I'm not on social media. I am on social media, obviously, because I'm here doing this. But I'm not on all the other platforms. Let's put it this way. I do Facebook, can be very, very nasty on there too. And I do YouTube. I love YouTube. I love YouTube uh, because there's a lot that's going on in terms of opinions, some are very strong, and you can react to it. Sometimes it gets real vitriolic, but we have to, and we should be able to control ourselves as far as that is concerned. What we can do though, we can't control people. We can't tell them what to do, what to say, but we can actually be the best and show the best of us as far as the football is concerned. I know that we we have a very diverse set of fans all over the world. From Australia, obviously, Ange coming in, to Singapore, have someone who subscribed to my channel, the Rudeboy Sound. As a matter of fact, subscribe to the Rudeboy Sound and get more of me. What I'm trying to do here, as I might segue, is that I'm trying to get the conversation going on this side about Spurs. With the time gap with Europe, then we can actually have a conversation in real time on this side of the ocean. Keep the Spurs community involved, keep us going. And so, yes, I would like to have more participation, but you have to promote that. My intent is to not necessarily monetize or whatever it is. That's not the aim. That's not the objective. The objective here is to add a voice, or my voice, with my own channel, because I've given that voice to other channels. And even though sometimes I might not like it, I just think that I should now feel comfortable enough to add my own voice, loud and clear, to the actual broadcast. And so in this instance, where I decide to launch, let me see, make sure that my I'm keeping. Okay, there I am on the screen. Oh, that makes it look better, right there. Okay, so in other words, what I'm saying is that this is a test, my very first test. I'm trying to go as long as I can to make sure that the streaming holds up and the quality of the stream is holding up. One of the things I'm trying to work out is to set the delay, bring it closer to to real, because obviously there's a delay in the stream, and I'm using OBS. For those, I don't know who else use OBS and whether it's good for this kind of streaming. Most people, I think, might use StreamYard and another platform, but because I'm not monetized and this is free, I'm going to use it for now. But back to the football, and I'm just waxing, maybe not lyrically, but I'm trying to push the limits of the broadcast to see how long it holds up. I think I'm something like 23 minutes in, and I would like to do at least an hour every day with contents, and opinion, reaction, game reaction, also the pre-game analysis, post-game reaction, and stuff like that. And so if and when, not if, but when this is posted, I might clean up part of it. I can switch the video out and use the video that I retain here, and then repost it better, depending on what's here. So if I were to give you an idea of the things I want to talk about in terms of the football itself, and I'm going to just say from a coach's standpoint, since I coached before I played, and I understand a little bit about coaching. Um, and I do believe in that when a manager has a squad of players, especially professionals that you have, it is up to the manager in a lot of cases to find solution in just about any sports when you know for sure that you're locked into a period, like for example, the window is open now, so you're flexible, but between when the window closes after the summer window, in at the end of September or the end of August, then you know that that's what you have, and therefore when your issues come up, you're going to now have to find solution. And this team, as it is badly constructed. It is really, really badly constructed. And it did not help that whatever the board knew, whatever it is that was going on with Daniel Levy, the back room knew or have some indication that Daniel Levy was not going to be here. And Daniel Levy, in how it was reported, left the club. Everybody leaves the club, and they do their little ceremony thing. But I want to just remind people when they start to have a go at Frank. I'm neither Frank in nor Frank out. If I take my position, at that predisposition of making a decision now, then even though I would have the rights or the right to go back on it, or adjust it, right? I don't think I should take that position if I'm sitting in this chair and trying to be objective. So that's where I'm coming from with that. But for what it's may, for what it's may, doesn't sound good. For what that absolutely does not sound good. But for all intent and purposes, let's just examine what the board did. Let's examine that for a second. Daniel Levy left the club pretty much at the end of the window in a massive club with a chairman that has been there, has been the chairman for 25 years, 24 plus. But Daniel Levy was at the club before he became the chairman. There's absolutely no doubt about that. We think Daniel Levy was hired off the streets to be the chairman. No, he was made the chairman because he was employed, and then he was also a part owner through his company, to the company, owning 29.4 or 29.6, and Enoch owns 71.6 or point 0.4, whatever the decimal place is, to make it to 100. Then that's how it's split up. But that's more than that's pretty close to being to a third of the club. And so I'm getting to the point. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it slowly, but I have to work my way up to it. Is that what I'm saying? Is that Tottenham is a massive club, Massive club. Whether or not you want to take your car just a tuck shop or a deli, as they say in Jamaica. They don't say that in Jamaica. They say that in the US. I just lost a stream. Copy and paste a stream key into your encoder to sign on through YouTube. Okay, so I need to do that. Okay, baby, that's why I'm having so much problems. I'm going to do that. It's not receiving enough video. Maintain smooth streaming. Okay, so let me do this. I'm gonna jump off. So end the stream. Okay, end the stream right here.